Hello everybody, welcome back to another video. Today is episode 7 of your NHL 21 franchise mode here with the Columbus Blue Jackets. As in today's episode, we have a pretty big one ahead of us as we're really trying to figure out what really is our identity, as we were trying to figure out in that last episode. And I think we sort of figured it out, and that is going to be a rebuilding team and just relying on the youth to come through for this squad. And we're going to start focusing on the Ken Johnson and the Patrik Laine of this group and really just build around those guys. So before we get into today's episode, I'd like to just say, if you are new to the channel, make sure to slap that like button and hit that subscribe button as well. As right now we're on the road to 500 subscribers and we are getting so close to it. So if you could please hit that subscribe button, that'll be very much appreciated. So let's get into this puppy here against the Columbus Blue Jackets, as we got a pretty big episode ahead of us. We got tons to work on. Now, we are almost in a divisional spot, but the problem is we have a lot of free agents this upcoming season, with Max Domi being the biggest one of them all. He's been absolutely performing off his head these past 2 seasons for the Columbus Blue Jackets, and I think we cash out on his high trade value right now, right? He had a career year at last year with 86 points, and not just that, this year he's a point per game once again, and I think we can max out his potential, his value gratefully, because of the fact that he's only making 1 year at 5.3. We could trade this guy for a whole crap ton of picks, and I even think we could retain half of his contract so we can even get more from the deal. So I think that's going to be the plan. Armia, we're probably going to dump off too, since he's an RFA. Maybe some of our older guys. Now remember, we do have to keep 3 30-year-olds on the roster. So someone like Seth Jones, who we will be planning on trading, in Nicholas Jalmerson, we would have to pick up, you know, a 30-year-old back in the deal to put in the lineup, because we have to have 3 30-year-olds in the starting roster. And then, of course, Korpisalo and Merzlikins is our starting tandem. So, I mean, might as well not wait any longer. Let's jump right into the simulation, because we don't got too much to wait, as we are in 6th in the division. The Devils are way ahead of us right now. They're with 47 points. We're, of course, with 43 right now, with a 19, 18, and 5 record. Our last 10 is 3, 6, and 1. We're just, you know, it sucks, because, you know, last year we tied up with whoever it was, Montreal or something like that. We should have been a playoff team. Without a doubt, we should have been a playoff team, and we should have had some playoff action, but we weren't able to, you know. Now this year, we weren't able to pick up the guys in the free agency, and you're seeing the second line really starting to struggle. I mean, Benstrom, Foodie, these are our future guys, and Benstrom and Foodie, and they're having great years this year compared to a Bjorkstrand, who's been, you know, this season, and a Roslovic, who's been, you know, what he's expected. Cam Atkinson hasn't been too bad either, but, you know, we're not getting what we're fully expecting from this roster, and, you know, it's not really pushing. I thought it was going to be, you know, more of a push from this roster, but we're not really getting that right now. So let's jump right into the simulation. As you guys all know, we sim game by game. I cannot wait to get the PS5, so it's just an overall faster simulation for hopefully NHL. I guess it would be 22 when we hopefully get 22. Hopefully I'll have the PS5 version instead of the PS4 version, because it is slow as molasses. Well, we'll get Merzlikins in there after another shootout loss to the Toronto Maple Leafs. Just things are not going our way right now, ladies and gentlemen. Things are just not going our way. We got Detroit coming up, and then St. Louis. We got some pretty big games coming up here. Adam Lowry's back in the lineup. Perfect. Big defensive guy. And I think that's, I guess, the biggest thing that you could say about this team is our defensive workings, I think, is great. We have some really good defensive players, from, you know, Lowry to Boone Jenner to McGinn to just about everyone on this roster. I mean, the third line, you know, actually, yeah, the third line's actually not even that bad defensively either. Texier is the real MVP defensively, though. I think we've been doing really good defensively, but the problem is now we're seeing the workings of this team really slowly deteriorating, man. It really just sucks. I think it's just, you know, time to blow things up, trade away Max Domi, try to get as much, you know, value as we can from every single player that we trade away. Seth Jones will be a big guy that we do trade away. I think we do keep Garakovo. And we also keep Zach Werenski. That's obvious. Of course, we're going to keep Zach Werenski, even though he is a free agent in the upcoming season. We will sign him. He's a young 24 years old guy. That's why we put him on the thumbnail. That's why we put Werenski and Patrik Laine on the thumbnail, because those are the two guys that we're going to be building around. I would not actually mind Nicholas Amari. He's physical. You know what? Yeah, I'll take him. I'll claim him. He could go down to the AHL and play some little ice time there. Some Merz Lincolns. Got absolutely hammered out there. Forgot to change him up a little bit, but we'll change him on the back-to-back here. Yeah, 49 points. I mean, that's the funny thing, too. We're not even that far away from a playoff spot. If we really just start pulling things together and we, actually start playing good, and Elvis Merz Lincolns is not crap in the bed like how he is right now, we could actually be in a playoff spot. And that's the funny thing. Like, if we win this game here, we're only a point away from, reaching the Devils right now, which is just absolutely crazy. And I feel like, this year feels like a wasted year. We could have started rebuilding last year, and we really could have got, a pretty good amount of value from Savard and all those guys. But I mean, I don't look as last year as a wasted year, I guess, because we did get Kent Johnson, which is going to be pivotal for this team moving forward. With Kent Johnson being on this team, without a doubt. Like, another loss there against the Red Wings. Yeah, I mean, we're just winning and losing. There's basically no point of even trying. We're 5-5-0 in the last 10. You could just see that we're winning and losing games. Like, there's some moments where this team, shows that glimpse of highlight reel action, and then there's other moments where it's just like the team cannot, not handle itself. I don't know. It's just like a lightweight when they're drinking or whatever. I'm a lightweight when I'm drinking. It's like I can barely drink any, but someone else can hammer them back. I don't know why I brought that up, but weird comparison. I don't know what I was trying to do with that weird-ass comparison, but all right, Peyton, you weird asshole. Atkinson, Army has been doing great this year. I'm really excited to trade away this guy because his value is going to be really, really high this year. He's having a career year this year, 35 points. I mean, he's getting a lot of ice time, but he's really showing what he can do out there. So we'll keep Merz Lincolns in there for a little bit. We're getting a big win there against the Islanders there, but it's going to be pretty hard for us to get into the playoffs. There's a lot of teams that are above us that are just 10 times better than us. Unless we go on a winning streak right now and we start winning every single one of these games here. Lost there against the Vegas Golden Knights. We were winning a couple there. We went 3 in a row. Kind of got us within reach. I mean, we're only a point back of the Devils right now. But, I mean, that's the thing. Like, we could go and, the problem is you look at the goaltending. I mean, the goaltending's atrocious this year. Korpisalo is just, not having a good year. Merz Lincolns is actually doing better than what he has in past years. He was actually on a good stretch in those past couple of games there. Minnesota, can you get a big win? Korpisalo does get a big win. We still keep within a reach of the New Jersey Devils, but we are close to the deadline. This is getting very, very close to the deadline. And whether we like it or not, I don't have, trust in this team right now. And I think the way that we go about things is we sell off the people that they have contracts, and if we make it to the playoffs, we make it into the playoffs, right? We trade away a lot of those players so we don't have to worry about losing anyone. And I think that's the way that we're going to have to go about this. Honestly. Brian Froese. Actually, I wouldn't mind that. Is he going to be 76 overall? He's kind of trash. No, I don't want him. Anyway, so let's see where we're sitting at right now. We'll take a look at the full divulge into the standings. So we're 30, 25, and 7. We're mostly staying alive because of our overtime losses, but that's most teams. The New Jersey Devils, they have 70 points. We're 3 points back with Washington and Philly ahead of us. And Boston has it right now with 69 points. We're only 2 points back of a wild card spot. But this was the same spot we were in last season where, you're looking from the outside all season long. You're right on the edge and you're just not able to climb in. Yeah, goal scoring is our weakest point this year without it. Oh, excuse me. And, I mean, defensively as well, we're not being a very strong defensive team. And you can just see everything's adding up. Our power play is crap. Our PK is, one of the strongest in the league, but still 80% is not very, something cocky to be about, I guess. Bjorkstrand's been, bouncing back since we put him alongside of Domi. Armia's not doing too bad. Foodie's having a great year. Atkinson not doing too bad. Benstrom, Roslovic. I think he'll do better. I think what we're going to do with Roslovic is throw him up on that first line, but he really does not fit the coach. He really doesn't defensively. Our defense is doing good, unless you're talking about the Nick Jensen, Gabriel Carlson pair. They're getting absolutely demolished out there. And then Merzlikins and Korpisalo. So, yeah, I think it's time to rebuild here, boys. It's something that we've been planning about for a while, and I think we go through with it. So, it's before we jump into the trade deadline, I want to see what we have, in the system. What do we need to develop? I think one big guy that we could call up is Kirill Marchenko. I think this is one guy that when we trade away Atkinson, we could call up Marchenko, and we're going to be using him in the rest of the year. I don't care if he's not going to get his rookie year. I could really care less about that. He's going to rip it up. He's going to be a big roster guy. Kent Johnson is another guy, medium elite, our 5th overall guy. He's the franchise guy for the future, right? And then everything else you look at, we don't actually have very much defensive depth. And, we have Lockhart, we have Chinkinov, we have Marchenko, we have Johnson, but we don't got any big defensemen but for Andrew Peak. So I think that's something that we're going to have to really focus on here at the deadline, is somebody that could be a future guy. And in Vinny Vevolina, we're going to be trading away one of our goalies, and we're going to be having him as our backup because he's 49-5 in the AHL, 920 save percentage. He's definitely going to be getting some time as a starting goalie this upcoming season. So also when the plan is what we're going to be trading away, the biggest players that we're going to be trading away is Atkinson, Armia, probably not any of the depth guys. I wouldn't mind keeping Lowry. I wouldn't mind keeping Jenner. I wouldn't mind keeping McGinn. So Atkinson, Domi, Jones, Jalmerson, and Merzlikins is going to be our trade bait. We're going to keep Korpisalo. We'll keep him as the backup because honestly, Merzlikins is nothing special right now. And I mean, we're not going to make it to the playoffs anyways. We're 7-3-0 in our last 10, which, is positive. It's a very positive outlook. But I think right now, the way that we're looking at this team, we're not going to be able to afford the players that we're going to want to afford. And going up to the ownership, that's what I'm going to purely say to them, right? We're not going to be able to afford Max Domi. 7 years at $9 million? No way. We're not going to be able to afford that. With alongside of getting Zach Werenski back. And then signing Seth Jones to a big deal. And also getting Zach Roslovic to a big deal. And then also signing Benstrom. We have to get a lot of guys back on this team. And not just that, add a goaltender. Add some extra depth. And make this team better. I just don't feel like this team is going to be a playoff team this year. And I don't feel like it's going to be a playoff team for the next couple years. Which sucks to say. But that is the truth out of this whole situation. Is that we are not a playoff team. We're not worthy enough yet. It sucks, but it's something that we're going to have to do. We're going to have to be a seller this year. So it's into the deadline here, boys. Let's make some hot take moves. We got a lot of moves that we're going to have to make here at the deadline, which, is something that, wasn't looking forward to. I wanted to make this team as big a playoff team as I possibly could have, but, not everything happened. Everything happens for a reason. So Max Domi, you're the first guy on my trade bait board that we're going to have to get rid of. Now, I am going to have to look at no trade clauses. So the only guys that we're going to have to worry about is Atkinson, Jones, and Jalmerson. And we'll have to take a look at the standings right quick for that. So, Chicago, first round pick for 2023. Now, we're in a 2022. Ooh, 2 first-round picks from the Dallas Stars and the New York Rangers. I think we have to pick the Dallas Stars. We were sending them to a Western Conference team. 2 first-round picks. I will, without a doubt, take that. See you later, Max Domi. 2 first-round picks being added to the team. Now, remember, we're only allowed a minimum of 3 round picks, so we're only allowed 1 more pick for this year's draft and 1 more pick for next year's draft. Also, we do need to check the standings, and I know we could check that here because NHL is awesome, and they actually did add this board. So the Metro, Carolina, next up Toronto, then Colorado, and San Jose. So San Jose, Colorado, Toronto, and Carolina. Carolina, Toronto. Did I forget the other 2 teams? I know San Jose is one of them in Colorado. So Colorado, Toronto, Carolina, San Jose. Yeah, I know Colorado is one of them. Yeah, so Colorado, San Jose, Toronto, Carolina. Boom, we got it. So let's trade away a lot of the no trade clause players. I don't know if we're going to be able to get Cam Atkinson off the team, to be purely honest with you. His trade value is pretty low. He has no trade clause, and the only 2 teams I want him is the Ducks and the Rangers. Both of them we cannot trade to because does not file up with a no trade clause. So unfortunately, we'll not be able to trade him. Armia, he is injured, but I would like to be able to dump him off to some other team. Hopefully, we could get something nice out of it. Can we maybe get a defenseman? Adam Ginning, Korzak. But I wouldn't mind building up the picks for 2022 as well, because we definitely need some picks to fill into this draft, because we got nothing coming for this draft. A second for next year in a 2024. We could get a second and a third, I know. Toronto there. 2/3? I wouldn't mind 2/3 from Carolina for Armia. He hasn't been too special anyway. So sadly, we weren't able to trade away Atkinson, but I think that's mostly forward group that we wanted to trade away. Roslovic, yeah. Yeah, so we can also keep Cam Atkinson because he's 30, so we still have another 30-year-old on the roster with the offensive core, but we will have to bring somebody back in because we are going to be trading away. Hjalmarsson will be the first guy that we do dump off. So Chicago's looking for him. The Rangers, Ottawa, Toronto, please be looking for him. Tampa Bay, Toronto. There we go. So that's the only trade we could really take here is the second and the third from the Toronto Maple Leafs for Nicholas Hjalmarsson. Thank you very much for taking him off my hands. And then we're also going to be jumping off Seth Jones as well. See you later, Seth Jones, my man. Ooh, Malcolm Doolin. He's another first-round pick for next year. A first-round pick for this year from the Chicago Blackhawks. And a third-round pick in 2022. Hell yeah, I'm taking that. There we go. The deadline is just, we're ripping apart this team, man. Holy crow. Merzlikins is the last and not least. No one wants to pick him up. Does anyone want Corpusalo? Somebody wants Corpusalo, thank goodness. Actually, Corpusalo will be nice to you. We'll send you off to a playoff team there in Colorado. Venny Vevalainen. Perfect. So, what we'll have to do now is we'll have to pick up some veteran players to fill in the roster now. Because, actually, we could just call up Boyle and crap. So, we could do... But we have to play them all in the roster. So, we got Atkinson. Yeah, that's one. And then defensively... We got Jensen and Van Riemsdyk because we could play Van Riemsdyk up on the first pair or whatever. So, yeah, that's 3. We don't need anybody else. And plus, I really don't want to trade away anybody else, to be purely honest with you. I really like what we got in this trade deadline. So, to summarize everything that we got in this deadline, we traded away Domi, Jones, Hjalmarsson, and Korpisalo. And what we got in return is no prospects right now, and you know, I was kind of hoping that we were to get a couple prospects. There was Malcolm and Doolin, but there was really nothing really that special. But what we got was a bunch of picks. Now we got 3 first-round picks from Columbus, Chicago, and Dallas, a second, a whole crap ton of thirds, a 4th and a 6th, and a couple 7s. And in next year's draft, we got 2 firsts, 2 seconds, 2 thirds. We are loaded up on picks for the next 2 years just by, you know, dumping off the players that we didn't need to have on this team. This was the smartest deadline I think we did. You know, I think we really fixed up this team. We did what we needed to do. You know, unfortunate that, you know, we weren't able to get off Cam Atkinson off the team, but he has 4 years left. It's almost near impossible to get Cam Atkinson's contract off the team. But we were able to get rid of a Hjalmarsson. We were able to get rid of Seth Jones off the team. So we did do some positive stuff. You know, this does suck for the team, having to, you know, blow up the team like the way that we did. 2 firsts to San Jose for Hurdle and Burns. My lord, Ottawa, you're all going all in. Colton Parayko as well. Toronto going all in. Chalpic? Wait, hang on. Medium top 9, 4. Ooh, I'll take that. I will claim Chalpic without a doubt, Ottawa. So, we'll take a look at our picks now. So the Dallas Stars are in the playoff, and Chicago, they are in a wild card spot, but there's nobody going to catch them. Unless, like, the Coyotes go on a tear. But even in Vegas, yeah, there's no way. What the fuck? That's so weird. Like, Chicago can be first in the division. In the first in the division in the Pacific, but they're not. That's absolutely nuts. So, lineups. We need to fix up the lineups a little bit, which I think is what I'll do is I'll do it off cam and I'll fix them all up. Oh my lord, we should the minimum cap. Are we at the minimum cap? I think we are. I think we actually need to sign someone to a big deal actually right quick as well. Oh, we cannot. Whoa, shit, we can't do that. No, hopefully it doesn't readjust the contracts. Hopefully it does not readjust the contracts and adds a bunch of money, because I totally forgot about that. I totally forgot that we probably need to take in some money, but whatever. We will add on some players now into the roster. So Marchenko, we'll add Boyle. Actually, I wanted to add Helpick up into the main roster, honestly. Vanalainen's called up, and then defensively, we'll have to call up Dahlstrom as well. So in the NHL, we'll have to send down a Ford and Hagel. Boom. Boom, bada bing. So Marchenko's up on the main roster now. So best lines. I do want, yeah, we'll do Bjorkstrand, Laine, Roslovic. I do not want Benstrom as the centerman. Benstrom there, and then Atkinson could go here. So Atkinson, Foodie, Benstrom. Texier is the centerman. Chelpick, Robinson up there. Who else can we put in? I do like Chelpick. That was a really nice pickup. Honestly, honest to God, that was a great pickup. Marchenko, I wouldn't mind getting you into the roster, getting you some time. No matter what line we're going to be playing, peak on is going to be bad. Oh, jeez. Because everyone's a defensive defenseman. Oh, my Lord, bro. This coach is so bad, dude. He is legit the worst coach ever. The worst coach ever. My Lord, bro. Okay. That's just another thing that we're going to do. Is just go to the coaching staff. And we're going to be firing MacArthur. And we're just going to make Sweetline the interim head coach for the rest of the year. Because he is the worst head coach I've ever seen in my life. Just does not fit the lines up at all. There we go. That fits them way better. Way better. There we go. Jeez Louisa. All right, so let's get into the rest of the year. I will be right back because I do got to quickly rest up the camera. So I'll be right back, and then we'll simulate to the end of the year. Alrighty, so let's get to the end of the season here with the Columbus Blue Jackets. But one last time, we'll take one last little wrap-up of the deadline and kind of everything that happened during this deadline as well. There was a lot of trades. Cesarnik and Bernier going to Penguins. Krug, of course, went to the New Jersey Devils. We made one of the first big moves at the deadline as well, sending Max Domi to the Dallas Stars for 2 first-round picks, which I just think is an absolute steal for Max Domi, especially Armiag. We got 2 third-round picks. 2 second and a third for Jomerson. We also got a first, a third, and Hagel in the Chicago trade. We love trading with Chicago. We also... we also dumped up Corpusalo as well. Shakir Mekamadulin went to Calgary for Tanev. Damn, that's a steal of a deal there. I wish they took Cam. New Jersey was asking for Cam Atkinson, but here's all the deals. There was a lot of deals here on trade deadline. A lot of people getting ready for a big playoff run, I guess, as we're preparing ourselves for a little bit of a rebuild here in Columbusville. Now, our pick won't be very good. Oh, also, I want to turn off auto rotates goalie off, or on, I mean. I want to put it on because we got Corpusalo and Venny Vavalainen now, so we got a backup and a starter, so it's fine if we just leave it and just let it go. Because honestly, no matter what we do, no matter what type of goalie tandem we do, the team's still going to struggle and it's still going to suck ass. So, might as well not even try. Am I right? I'm being truthful about it. I mean, this team sucks ass. We're not going to be making it to the playoffs. We're 6th in the division right now unless we go on an absolute tear in these next couple games without Max Domi, without Seth Jones, and without all those big key contributors. We did fire a head coach as well, so maybe that makes the team 100% better as well without MacArthur being the head coach of this team. So, shootout loss there against the Buffalo Sabres. Nathan Gerbe pulled groin. Boone Jenner back in the lineup. Boone Jenner. I'm also really excited about Yelpic because if you look at his defensive stats, his analytics as well in real life, he's a defensive beast. Actually, he's actually not even in the NHL anymore in real life because he got his contract terminated or whatever, went off and played in the KHL. I don't know what he's doing, but he's down there doing something. Another win. Another win. Where are these wins coming from? Another win against the Dallas Stars as we're in a wild card spot. Where are the win? Another win against the New Jersey Devils. The wins are coming out of nowhere here for the Columbus Blue Jackets. They fire their head coach, throw in the interim, and we are winning non-stop games. My lord, boys. What's going on here? Marchenko, what the hell? I'm blaming everything on Marchenko because we're winning games right now, boys. What the hell? Dude, Laine has just popped off. Didn't he have 29 and 29? He has 40 and 37 now. Oh my lord. Laine has legit just popped off here for the Columbus Blue Jackets. And we should almost be in a playoff spot, I feel, right now as well. This is just absolutely insane, dude. Insane. Insane in the membrane. Our defensive core looks like utter crap. And I will say that repetitively because it does look like doggy doo-doo. Especially with Carlson still struggling. But my lord, Werenski and Peak, ever since Peak made his debut here for the Columbus Blue Jackets, he's just been absolutely amazing. Where are we sitting at right now, boys? Where are we sitting at? We are 85 points, 4th in the division right now. My lord, boys. So we only got a couple games left. The Devils are still on our ass, but the Flyers, the Capitals, all those guys completely fell off. And we just been ripping it up these past couple months. So, I mean, boys, if need be, keep winning games. I could care less. I mean, we traded away a lot of players. We got a lot of picks. So no matter what, we're going to have a good draft. And if we make it to the playoffs, that's just a bonus. That's just a little bonus in there. A winner against the Carolina Hurricanes. Bjorkstrand back in the lineup. Get him in there. Get him in there. Bjorkstrand, get your ass back in there, buddy. Keep her going, boys. Pittsburgh. Big win there against Pittsburgh Penguins, and then we lose. So we got 3 games left. We're in a wild card spot, 89 points. I mean, if we win these next couple games here, boys, we practically guarantee ourselves a playoff spot. I mean, we wanted to do this last year. I mean, you guys could have started winning games throughout the season, but it's okay. It's okay to do it last minute. I'm all right with that. I might. Not really, but I might. An overtime loss against the Boston Bruins. So that was a big loss for the Bruins as they did fall. No, they jumped into a playoff spot, but the Canadiens are on our ass. We do have 90 points. So up against the New York Islanders, the worst team in the division. Can we pull away with a big victory? And we don't. Wow, another big loss for the Columbus Blue Jackets. This is a big one. Oh, my lord, this is a huge one against the Penguins. If we lose this game, the Devils, if they win, they jump into a playoff spot. If the Sabres win their next 2 games, they jump into a playoff spot no matter what. So let's jump into this one. This is a big one here between the Columbus Blue Jackets and the Pittsburgh Penguins. Come on, boys. First period, 2-0. Crosby and Letang. Oh, this is not looking good. Second period, 3-0. Austin Cesarnak gets a big one there for the Pittsburgh Penguins. Here, going into the third period, and the Columbus Blue Jackets, they're losing their lead. Laine, Benstrom gets a big one for the Columbus Blue Jackets, and then Crosby on the power play. No way, bro. No way, bro. Merzlikins cannot shut the door ever, dude. We're never re-signing Merzlikins. He could just go off the free agency because he's a bum. He's a bum. Get him out of here. And we missed the playoffs again. Oh, my lord. Our luck, man. Woo, man. Man, fuck you, Columbus. You get all my hopes up. You get me excited. And then you lose the last, 2 games of the season. Oh, my lord. Okay, good thing to know that we're still a rebuilding team, ladies and gentlemen. Good to know. Good to know. My God, you guys. You pull off this miracle comeback near the end of the year. We're still crappy at scoring goals. Defensively, we're not terrible. Yeah, we're just overall. I don't know how we pulled off that miracle near the end. We have one of the worst power plays. We have one of the worst PKs in the league. And somehow we were able to muster up enough wins to almost make it into the playoffs. That is absolutely beyond me. But anyways, Roslovic did not too bad near the end of the season. Bjorkstrand, 55 points. Not terrible. Yeah, the team didn't look terrible. Marchenko, 12 points in 20 games, not bad. Chelpik didn't do too bad, but he's not an offensive guy. He's more of a defensive guy. Werenski, another great year, 50 points for him. Peak did great with Werenski as well, so that's good to see. Goaltending, yeah, Venäläinen actually did crap, and Merzlikins also did crap, so good to know. Good to know, guys. Good to know that you guys keep playing like crap, but we don't even really need to take an overview of that team, because, I mean... Frank Kuhns leads the league and, wins. Not a lot of goal scoring throughout the entire league. Shesterkin had the best save percentage, though, so he might be bringing that Vezina on home there for the Rangers. Matt Dumpa, wow, with the 80 points this season. He absolutely popped off this year from Minnesota. And then Klingberg was 72. Pietrangelo, Letang, Dougie, and then Quinn Hughes and Shea Weber as well. Forwards-wise, Nate McKinnon led the league with 123 points. That's insane. McDavid just with 116. Eichel up there as well. Kane still busting with 33 years old. He's still busting up there with 105. Leading goal scorers in the league. I know Laine was almost near up there, 46 or 45 there for Laine. I think if Laine, gets some good line mates together, I mean, when he was with Domi, I mean, Laine was a beast when he was with Domi. I think he would have scored probably about another 55 if he had, Domi with him near the end of the season. But we had to change it up. We had to throw Roslovic alongside of him. But I was really impressed with the way that this team played. Where's Liam Foudy at? Oh, Liam Foudy. Liam Foudy had 52 points? How did I not see this, man? Wow, what a season by Liam Foudy. He came into his first season in the NHL and pulled out 52 points out of his ass. Wow, man, that is insane. We got to check out the rookie goal scoring race because if Liam Foudy is not number one for that, that's nuts. And he is. Let's go. Let's go. Liam Foudy up there, baby. Oh, my lord, that is exciting. Also, I want to check where Chicago and Dallas ended up. Chicago and Dallas. So Dallas, of course, playoffs. Chicago, of course, playoffs. That's what we kind of expected. We knew that we weren't really going to get that much luck. And quickly before we end everything off, because we're not going to be getting up to the draft lottery in the next episode, we will be able to get up to that. We've already been carrying on this episode for a pretty long time. But we are going to estimate where we will be practically picking at. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Yeah. We are drafting way out of the top. So it's practically like last year all over again. Now, the problem is with this one, I don't think this draft is going to be as strong as, the previous few. There might be a couple good players like Grigorenko, McGrody, Lambert, Slavakovsky, Fleming, Wright. There's not a lot of big defensemen. I think the only big defenseman was, there's absolutely no defenseman on this. Casey, Klingberg, Grant, Malkin's up here. We gotta get these guys scouted here. Can I scout these guys? Can I go like player info? No, okay. I might have to do some due diligence and start scouting a lot of these guys near our range because I mean we're gonna have a lot of picks. That's gonna be the biggest thing with this year's draft. If we need to move up in the draft, we can. But the problem is there's not a lot of elite, defensemen that I'm really seeing. Like, you have Seamus Casey. I think he's an offensive defenseman. I think. He was a creative player that I made. Maybe Robert Klingberg is a guy that we could take a look at. Left-handed defenseman, 6'2", has really great leadership ability. I cannot speak English. Offensive instincts are up there. He's like an Al McInnes. Won't be a bad idea. We could go after the right-handed guy here in Kai Filppula, who has some very good stats. A minus in senses, B minus in skating, kind of like a Mark-Edward Vlasic. So we have some options that we're going to be looking at here for the Columbus Blue Jackets going into the next season. But, I mean, we missed out by the playoffs by, once again, not even by, we tied up for points, but we missed it. Once again, it's crazy. 2 years in a row, we tied up for a wild card spot, and we missed both of those years. I don't know this Columbus Blue Jackets team is one of the most weirdest teams I think I've ever been a GM of, but I'm ready to do whatever needs to be in the next episode, right? We have the development of Ken Johnson right now. He's going to slowly keep growing, and this team is going to slowly keep growing, right? That's going to be the biggest thing with this team is that we have a lot of development right now from Foudy, from, from Laine. I mean, a lot of these guys weren't really developing, but in the system, Ken Johnson's already a 75 overall. Right, Fowler's jumping up to a 70. That's amazing. Lockhart's jumping up by a ton. We have a lot of our prospects starting to develop very nicely, and I'm excited to see what the future will entail for the Columbus Blue Jackets. But for right now, guys, I'm going to end the video here. Thank you very much for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe. Tell me, guys, in the comment section below what should I do next here for the Columbus Blue Jackets. And yeah, I'll see you guys all in the next one. Adios, amigos.